Hello, everybody. So we're fully set up here. It's a pleasure speaking to you today on a very short notice. So I'm stepping in for Claire Gates, the CEO of Paysafe, Pay Later. My name is Johanna Maria Leiner. I'm Vice President, Compliance, Governance and Ethics at Paysafe Group, and I flew all the way here from Vienna. Today, next 15 minutes, I want to talk about how women can thrive in a competitive industry. First of all, I want to share a bit of my background, so why I'm here. I am a compliance officer, and additionally, I also work a lot on diversity, inclusion, about gender diversity and women networks. I'm proud to say I won the Positive Travel Maker Award yesterday, so thank you very much. And I am country ambassador for the European Women in Payments Network and also a network called FinTech Ladies, which is more well known in the DACH region. I want to start with a little story from a colleague of mine and myself 2 days ago when we went on a networking event, and we were talking to a male colleague, and he came to us saying, "So you women, what are your topics in the payment industry?" And I was like, well, probably the same as yours, but we can discuss that. And it was not mean meant or anything. It was just shows me that there's still a lot to do, and it needs to get normal to have women in leading positions. So attracting female talents. Why is it important? Just go through very quickly, as we don't have a lot of time. First of all, and that's probably relevant for each and every company, financial returns. Financial returns are greater if you have a diverse leading an executive board. There was a study of McKinsey 2017 which shows that all companies with more diverse boards can expect a greater financial return. Something I'm working on, compliance, governance and ethics. So if you have diverse boards, it gets you higher quality in corporate governance. And this is, you can say, women like to sometimes not step out of the box and like to follow the compliance governance framework. Not always, but if you have it diverse, it's just easier for your company to implement. And I, as a compliance officer, know I think the hardest thing to change within a company framework is to change a culture. Everything to do with ethics, and I see some people nodding, so they're working in compliance. Everything with ethics, with conduct, with whistleblowing, to get people to stand up and tell you what's going wrong in the company, in the infrastructure. This is something which needs to be embedded. You need it in policies. You need it in the whole framework. And if it's diverse, it just shows it's just easier that people stand up and tell you what is going wrong, and this gives you as a company better value and insight. And then also better insight into customer needs. Especially in payments, there is no product where you can leave women as a side, as a customer. So you need their opinion. You need to know what are their thoughts on the topic. So I just put together a few slides on what can you do, what I think are important, and what I see talking to my colleagues at the networking event, what brought them further, what made them a leader, and what made them different to others. So one of the important things is take the risk. Often I think women tend to go on the safe side. They like to be to not have the conversation, to work in the background, which is important, and to give the perfect work to their employees, but to the employer. But sometimes you need to take the risk and you need to go outside your box. As an example, I would rather sit here in the audience, listen to somebody else as standing here, because that is not my natural habit to stand in front of people talking. I just do it because I know that it's getting better by time. So if you do it more often, it gets a bit easier, not a lot, but it gets a bit easier. And as my colleague before was speaking, that is just something, you need to practice. It's nothing you can do out of a book. So next time you have the opportunity, just raise your hand. And I know from my experience that especially men enjoy it often more to speak to audience. And I was always happy for them to do it, and was standing in the back. But next time, just raise your hand and just say that you are available. And I think, it gets better by time. The second one is get role models. And I think this is one we still need to be working on and putting effort into. So there are role models out there. European Women in Payments Network yesterday evening showed there's so many women and also men supporting the whole tribe and showing their effort on and diversity. But there's still not as many as there should be. And just because you have a woman on the board, it doesn't mean that it's a role model for every woman in your company. Because that's not the contribution you need to look at. You need to have a variety of role models and then pick out how is she doing it, and then follow by example. And also be a role model yourself and show your colleagues how you do it, and support each other. So I'm very lucky at Paysafe that I have a big support here. With social media or just giving you opportunity for speaking on panels, get yourself a network together to support you, and then be a role model for others. This brings me to the next one, networking. So 1 year ago, I started with my networking events in Austria. I was looking at the FinTech Ladies website, and I wanted to join their events, and I didn't see any upcoming events, only in Berlin and Hamburg and so on. So I wrote them an email saying, let me know when there is an event in Vienna, because I would like to attend and I would like to contribute. And the answer came straight back saying, well, that's great, because we're looking for someone setting everything up. So that's how I joined the group. So then I created my own network. But that's not something everybody needs to do. Just look for yourself in the network. It doesn't have to be a women's network. There are fintech networks. There are payment networks. Everything. Yeah. Just look what you have in your city. And join it. It's like a little big family, and it helps you if you need a contact from another company. It helps you if you look for speaking opportunities. It's just, I think it's a positive contribution for you and also your company. And last but not least, be your own fan. I think women are really good in what they're doing, but often they're waiting to get the recognition, and nobody gets recognition if you're waiting in the back. So you need to stand up and you need to tell what have you done, even if sometimes people don't like it. Not everybody can like you, and that's totally fine. Be yourself. If you like to wear trousers, wear trousers. If you like to dress up, dress up. I think the most important thing is to try to be yourself, because everything else is very exhausting, and not everybody needs to be the same. That's it from my side. Thank you very much.